just 5 days after Diane Keaton's death. Her two adopted children, Dexter and Duke, hurried to the lawyer's office to stake claims on the massive estate. Shortly after, Diane's two biological sisters also spoke up, demanding a share of the inheritance, making the situation tangled and tense. Certificate as pneumonia, really that simple. In her final weeks, she lived in seclusion, lost weight rapidly, suffered persistent coughing, and a delayed emergency call was made. All suspicious points that sparked concern among fans. Diane had told friends, "I have never loved anyone more than my children." But now, with her children and sisters plunging into a battle over the estate, opportunity to contest her $100 million estate. Let's explore all of this in the video. In the early morning of October 11th, 2025, Diane Keaton, the legendary American actress, was found in poor health at her private residence in Santa Monica, California. An emergency call was made, and paramedics quickly arrived, taking her to St. John's Health Center. However, despite timely medical attention, Diane passed away at the hospital at age 79. Her family announced the official cause as bacterial pneumonia, but immediately, many fans and media raised unanswered questions. The story begins in the preceding months. Lose weight for a Broadway role pushed her into cycles of uncontrolled eating and self-destructive behavior. 20,000 calories a day. She wrote, "Fried chicken, fries, sweets," then purging it all. Though she overcame this illness through therapy, she described herself as a recovering addict for life. From these two illnesses, it's clear they were not related to respiratory issues. So why was Diane's cause of death listed as pneumonia? Another detail fueling suspicion was the dream home in Beverly Hills that Diane hastily sold in early 2025. This was a place she had once called her forever home, and spent years meticulously. And mysterious nature of this decision created a significant gap in the story of her final days. Fans and media began to speculate. Had Diane known something about her future, or faced an unexpected event that prevented her from staying in the house? The home, once a symbol of her style and personality, now became the focus of an unresolved mystery. After Diane's passing, the family quickly arranged her cremation and informed the public. But they refused to answer any questions about her health or preceding events. This secrecy led many fans and journalists to feel that something was being concealed. But everything truly erupted when her two adopted children, Duke and Dexter, rushed to meet lawyers immediately after Diane's death to contest the estate. Going back to Diane's 50s, when her film career was still brilliant with iconic roles in The Godfather and Annie Hall, she decided to embark on a surprising new chapter, becoming a single mother. Without marriage or partner, Diane pursued motherhood through adoption. In 1996, at age 50, she welcomed her first daughter, Dexter, just months after her birth on December 15, 1995. It was a bold, emotional decision, with Diane later sharing that she had never imagined being ready for this role. But it changed her life forever. 5 years later, in 2001, Diane expanded her family by adopting her son, Duke, born February 8, 2000, when he was just over a year old. At 50, through her last breath on the morning of October 11, 2025, the atmosphere in the Beverly Hills home remained somber, full of grief. But within hours, another story began to unfold. Her adopted children, Dexter and Duke, rushed to Diane's lawyer's office. Their goal was to ensure their interests in the massive estate Diane left were protected. On October 16th, Dexter, an ambitious interior designer, left the office of a prestigious Los Angeles law firm carrying a thick bundle of documents. According to close sources, she declared she deserved the largest claim. A lesser-known actress, but always close to her sister, Dory asserted that Diane had promised to leave a portion of her estate to support her in her final years. She contacted to ensure their shares were not redirected, Robin Eve's interests, arguing that Diane had established the trust to prioritize her two adopted children, not her biological siblings. However, this alignment was only temporary, as Duke still wanted control of the majority of cash, while Dexter insisted on keeping the real estate and art collection. Regret that Diane would be very sad to know her children were fighting like this. After her death, Diane left an enormous estate estimated at around $100 million on earnings from her over 50-year acting career, production, directing, writing, and especially her passion for real estate, which yielded higher returns than her acting salary. Diane Keaton's assets primarily consisted of high-end real estate, making up the largest portion of her portfolio, estimated at over $50–60 million from transactions that were in long-term holdings. She was renowned as a house flipper, specializing in restoring historic properties in California, focusing on Spanish colonial revival, mission revival, and mid-century modern styles. Notable assets included the main Brentwood, Los Angeles home estimated at $20–30 million, a Laguna Beach property purchased in 2004 for $7.5 million, sold in 2006 for $12.75 million, a Pacific Palisades villa purchased in 2012 for $10 million, and another property to Madonna for $6.5 million. These deals were not only highly profitable, but also reflected her passion for architectural preservation, earning her recognition from architects. Something's gotta give. And the family stone, with an average salary of $5–10 million per major project. As a director and producer, she worked on music videos such as Belinda Carlisle's Heaven is a Place on Earth and television productions, generating additional steady income. Her three best-selling memoirs, Then Again, 2011, Let's Just Say It Wasn't Pretty, 2015, and Brother and Sister, 2020, along with public talks and endorsement deals, contributed another $10–15 million. She also invested in photography and interior design. With her book, The House That Pinterest Built, inspired by her Brentwood home. Dexter, passionate about interior design, wanted to keep the Brentwood house as a symbol of her bond, while Duke, a tech entrepreneur, needed cash to pursue ambitions. Could they have gone so far as to harm their mother to achieve their goal? It was the result of prolonged debilitation and a carefully controlled living environment orchestrated by Dexter and Duke. Immediately after her death, they plunged into a legal battle to claim Diane's massive estate. Their coordinated actions ensured everything proceeded smoothly. Assets were controlled, power centralized, and other family members, including Dory and Robin, were excluded from all decisions. Diane's biological sisters tried to claim rights from the trust, but Dexter and Duke flatly refused, protecting the estate and financial control. They had prepared in advance, knowing every necessary step to secure their share and remove obstacles from the family. Everything unfolded like a meticulously planned family crime. While fans still believe Diane Keaton passed due to illness, the reality is that every detail had been controlled by Dexter. Everything occurred precisely as planned. Isolating Diane, weakening her body, controlling assets, and removing obstacles. If the hypothesis that Dexter and Duke caused Diane Keaton's death is true, the story is profoundly tragic. Diane, who chose to become a admired Diane. The posthumous battle for Diane Keaton's estate remains a public focal point. Dexter and Duke, the two adopted children, plunged into tense negotiations with lawyers, demanding rights and compensation for years of family care and accompanying Diane throughout her life. Each believed they deserved the most, and every meeting and call made the family picture more complicated and tense. With sharp conflicts and questions surrounding Diane's will, the question many still ask remains unresolved. Who will ultimately inherit the actress's estate? Will the rights favor the two adopted children who lived with their mother for years, or the biological sisters who were close from childhood? Only time and court decisions can answer. For those interested in such drama-filled stories and wanting to follow the next developments of the Keaton family, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any updates.